Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Before we get into the video, leave a like on the video, subscribe if y'all want to. But anyway, this will be what if Naruto had the powers of Eren Yeager from Attack on Titan, of course. And anyway, without further ado, let's get right into the video. So Minato walks into a room with Danzo and Hiruzen, and weirdly enough, Hiruzen is yelling at Danzo, telling him that they won't have that experiment going on inside of the Leaf Village, and that's final. Danzo, understandably, is a little upset, and he walks out the room after briefly saying hello to the 4th Hokage, and Minato asks Hiruzen, is there something that he needs to know about? And Hiruzen lets him know, trying to put him at ease, tells him no, everything's fine. But Minato, not folding, tells him that as the 4th Hokage, it's my right to know what's going on inside my village. And Hiruzen looks at Minato with a stern look in his eyes and tells him that this has nothing to do with you. So it's okay, go have your child tonight and everything should go according to your plans, correct? And Minato, remembering that he's actually getting, he's gonna have his son tonight, their son tonight, he gets a little excited and he starts talking about that. And we trail off to Danzo's perspective, and Danzo walks back into this lab with this weird little tube type thing, but has a whole bunch of little writing on it, as his people are telling, as these Anbu researchers walk up to him and tell him that they're almost done deciphering the code to unlock this thing. And Danzo tells them that they can't do it inside the village due to the fact that Hiruzen doesn't want them to, and if they get caught, all of them could be in serious trouble. So the best course of action would be to move it to a black site somewhere outside the village. And the scientists agree and begin to pack everything up, moving everything away from the village. So come that night, Naruto was born, and Obito almost kills Naruto, like in canon, and then everything leading up to the Nine Tails being sealed inside of Naruto goes to canon. Instead of Minato throwing the kunai down somewhere in a training ground near the Leaf Village, instead of him doing that, he threw it somewhere else, making him, Obito, Kushina, and Naruto all disappear to that location. And not Obito, but the Nine Tails, him, Kushina, and Naruto, which takes the teams that are supposed to be containing the Nine Tails a lot longer to reach Naruto and everyone, and Naruto, Kushina, and the Nine Tails, and Minato, and the Nine Tails and Minato. So after Minato teleports, they realize what's going on. But before they could stop the thing from opening, it opened, and a weird mist came out of the container. A mist came out of the container and flew very quickly into the air. Danzo, being aggravated, thinking that all is lost, he gets mad and he tells Minato that he'll rule the day. And Minato tells him that no matter what he does now, since this is something that wasn't supposed to be taking place now, if they survive this night, he will be going away for a long time. And As is talking about this, Kushina tells Minato to look up at the air, and in the sky there's like a whole bunch of like little weird yellow lightning, and it ends up striking around Naruto. Well, it actually struck him, but from everyone else's perspective, it just struck around him and not on him. So, after the lightning strikes and everyone's like regaining their senses, Danzo looks behind Minato and realizes there's a very angry Ninetales back there, and he's just wilding out in the forest. And Kushina uses her chakra chains to bind the Ninetales to the ground, while Minato uses the seal on himself and Naruto. But during that entire thing, since the lightning struck and everyone was able to see, like everyone saw the lightning hit, so yeah, like they saw the lightning hit, then they saw the Ninetales off in the distance, so they figured that's where everyone was, so they ran over there. And right after Minato and Kushina had died, instead of Danzo being able to snatch Naruto up and take him somewhere else, Danzo was imprisoned because shortly after Naruto got the Ninetales sealed inside of him, the other teams had arrived to, well, shortly after his parents had died, the other teams had arrived to take Naruto and Minato and Kushina's bodies, if they were all dead, back to the village and contain the Ninetales. Instead, they brought an alive, unconscious baby Naruto back to the village, and the Hokage, the fourth Hokage, and, well, Minato and Kushina bodies back to the village, and Danzo and his group in shackles and cuffs. So instead of Naruto being blamed for the Ninetales accident, due to the fact that everyone had to see Danzo and his little Anbu ranks get brought into the village in shackles and cuffs, everyone just assumed that they were the ones who did it, which relieves some of the stress off the Uchiha clan. And once the Uchiha clan figures out, once Danzo was put in jail, the Uchiha clan and the rest of the Anbu that wasn't the Black Ops figured out Danzo's plans to kill off all of the Uchiha, to use their anger and rage against them, so they would try to start a coup and get someone in their own clan to kill them, so he can take all their eyes. After realizing that Danzo's plan was almost came true, the Uchiha clan breaks away from the Leaf Village, claiming that they can still be allies and they'll still help when the time comes, but they just don't want their stuff, they're still a part of the Leaf Village, they just don't want their stuff directly attached to the Leaf Village. They wanted a couple of 2 miles away or something like that, something to keep their distance, so they can get some independence for themselves. So Hiruzen agrees, which means that there was no coup in the Uchiha clan, meaning that they are all relatively alive for the time being. So Naruto, as he's growing up, was always being monitored because Naruto's healing factor was strange, because not only did Naruto generate a lot of heat for his age, but whenever he got cut or something, a whole lot of very violent and hot smoke, like steam, started appearing from the part that is damaged, and depending on how deep the cut is, or the scratch or the bruise, depends on how long it's going to take for it to heal. So if Naruto broke his arm, it would take maybe about a week or so to heal. So Naruto has gone throughout his entire life thinking that he's just really good at healing, and Naruto, since he wasn't blamed for the Ninetales attack, has a lot of friends, including Hinata, Sakura, Ino, Tenten, Shikamaru, Choji, the bug guy, and Kiba. All of them are friends. So one day, they begin to start school. My bad, I'm getting a little, yeah. So after, well, during them starting school, Naruto realizes that the day of them starting school, Naruto realizes that he's going to be late for his first day of school. Naruto has been late for a lot of things, but like he's been late by like a couple of minutes, like 3 minutes or so. Naruto's late, he's not extremely late. So Naruto gets up, immediately gets stressed, and jumps out of his window to start heading in the way of the school. But on his way to the school, he runs into this weird family with these emblems on their back. And the one that he bumps into is tall, and he's tall, and he turns around and he's later identified as Itachi. And the person next to him, his younger brother, which is about the same age as Naruto, is Sasuke. Now, Naruto doesn't know of his parents. He still doesn't know his parents, but so he still doesn't know his parents, but not everyone, but yeah, some people do. So after Fugaku and his Sasuke's mom turns around, they realize that that's Naruto. And so does Itachi, almost immediately. Realizing that that's Naruto, all of them began to kind of reminisce on the moments of like happiness that they have had with Kushina and the 4th Hokage. Although Fugaku really didn't have that many good times with Minato. But the times that they did have were pretty fun. So Naruto apologizes for bumping into them, and then he notices that the kid that's next to them looks around the exact same age as him, and he asks Itachi, is he going to such and such, like is he going to the academy? And Itachi nods his head, and Fugaku was like, yeah, we were just on our way to go to bring him there. And Itachi was like, why, do you want to tag along? And Naruto was like, no, it's just he's about to be late. And Fugaku was like, what do you mean? And Naruto was like, because the academy starts at 10 and it's like 9 well, the academy starts at 10 and it's like 9 something. Like, you see that clock, and Naruto points at the clock in like the center of like the town, of like the little square that they're in. Naruto points at the clock, and the clock is about to hit 10 in like 4 minutes. So Itachi grabs Naruto and was like, hold on, and he body flickers away, and within moments Naruto is at the academy. And Naruto was like, what was that? And Sasuke thanks his brother and walks into the class, and Naruto does as well. Now we're gonna have to do a time skip. So we're gonna time skip all the way up into the point where Naruto is going on his first mission outside the Leaf Village regarding like Zabuza and things. So Naruto and Sakura, Kakashi, and Sasuke and Tazuna, the dude, as they're escorting Tazuna to the location that they have to escort him to. I'm not necessarily sure where they're escorting him to, but as they're escorting him, they start to talk about the Chunin exams. And for the record, they have had some very decent character development. It's just Naruto doesn't get his abilities until, yeah. So Naruto, Kakashi, and Sasuke and Sakura have all been like a solid group for a little while. So so when Naruto spots a wet puddle on the ground and look up, he realizes that that's impossible. There shouldn't be a puddle of water on the ground next to the dirt road if there's no river and it hasn't rained and there's no other moisture. So Naruto looks at Sasuke, and Sasuke walks over, or lets everyone else know that that puddle could be a possible trap. So Naruto, already knowing the Shadow Clone Jutsu, he uses 4 Shadow Clones to see what's going on with the puddle of water. And when the trap is sprung, Naruto, Sasuke, and Sakura all take them down very easily. Sakura is very good with kunai. She can throw kunai at a very alarming rate, and she's a very good kunoichi. I gave her more than yeah. Anyway, so after that, Sasuke and Naruto's team starts asking Tazuna questions, because for this to be a low ranking mission, he shouldn't have mercenaries coming after him, and he needs to explain himself. And Tazuna at first didn't want to explain himself, so they started walking back to the Leaf Village. But then Tazuna, realizing that now it's going to cost him more money, he begins to go into further detail about what's going on. And Sakura gets a little upset, because not only are they escorting a incompetent bridge builder, but now they have to escort an incompetent bridge builder with a bounty on his head. So Naruto was like, Sakura does make some good points, but this just means that you're gonna have to double the pay for what you were paying us originally. And Tazuna, after a 30-minute argument, finally agrees to double the payment and do not get into any more trouble after this. So as they're escorting him again, now they're back to escorting him, they run into Zabuza. Once Haku gets the feeling that Zabuza is going to lose this, possibly because halfway through the fight Haku realized that they're a well-oiled team. So Haku throws a Senbon inside of Zabuza's neck, which knocks him out, and everyone believes that he's dead. So as they're moving, they set up camp, and Sasuke and Naruto start talking about training, and Kakashi tries to teach them how to run on trees and things, and water walking, the basics. So Naruto, Sasuke, and Sakura are all training to learn water walking and tree climbing and all that other stuff. So come night, they're very tired, they all fall asleep. They wake up, they start moving again. Then they run into Zabuza again, but this time Zabuza isn't playing around anymore, and neither is Kakashi. Kakashi pulls out his Sharingan, and him and Zabuza begin to fight. Naruto, Sakura, and Sasuke are all protecting Tazuna from Haku. Specifically, Sakura's protecting Tazuna, while Naruto and um, Sasuke fight. So after a few moments of them all fighting, Haku whips out his prison mirror jutsu thing, and Naruto gets caught in it, and Sasuke pushes Naruto out the way of all the Senbon. And Naruto gets up asking Sasuke why'd he do that, and Sasuke tells him, like, that's what friends are for, right? And Naruto is, he's getting up there in the emotions. So he's thinking back to all the fun times that they've had, them becoming a squad by beating Kakashi in the bell test, them saving those cats from those trees, and Sasuke getting scratched by one of the cats, stuff like that, helping the old lady cross the street. And after Naruto remembers all of these things, Naruto starts generating a lot of heat and steam. And then, just like that one night when his parents had died, the night that he was born, a bit of lightning struck Naruto, like head on this time. And out from the dust and the lightning strike, everyone watched on in horror as this 10-foot, like the assault titan, the attack titan, the one that you see on the screen, just with yellow hair instead of brown or black, whichever one it was. So Naruto stands up and, like, in a very high-pitched, he does his titan scream, and Haku just begins to start lighting him up with Senbon, and to no avail. Like, all of the Senbon struck him, like, bled, like, made him bleed just a little bit, but none of them were thick enough to puncture his skin, like, completely. Like, they were just only in by, like, the needle's edge. So Zabuza asked Kakashi what the hell is going on with his student, and Kakashi was like, I don't know, but this fight has to end here. So they both use a water dragon jutsu. Both of them are relatively exhausted, and then they turn around to find out that Naruto has killed, in a fit of rage, has killed Haku after smashing all the mirrors, after smashing all the ice mirrors, and finally being able to find Haku. He kills Haku almost like instantly by breaking his back, killing him. And Zabuza, after realizing this, and after Naruto kills Haku, he kind of, like, legit, like, he's just standing there just screaming with, like, a ripped in half Haku in his hands. He didn't break his back. I'm gonna say he ripped him in half. Yeah. So he's standing there with, like, a rift, like, his torso in one hand and his, like, his legs in the other, and he's just standing there and he's just screaming. And Zabuza, like, is just looking on in horror because this man just legit bodied Haku. So Sasuke at this point has regained consciousness and is watching on in horror as this man sees Naruto parading Haku's corpse around like it's just something that you could just do. And Naruto looks at Zabuza and, like, just starts charging at him, but in, like, an instant they hear a voice, like, right before Naruto could, finish off Zabuza was ready to accept it too. So right before Naruto was able to finish off Zabuza, they heard a voice cry out in the distance, and when they look over there, they see a whole bunch of people just standing there, which confuses the enraged Naruto, at first, but then once Naruto figures out that those are the people that made Zabuza come here in the first place, and now they're planning on killing him because he couldn't complete his mission. So that makes Naruto even more angrier, and Naruto just goes running into the army of like hundreds, and Naruto, still in a fit of rage, is, you know, doing what any Titan would do in a fit of rage. Well, doing what any Eren Yeager Titan would do in a fit of rage. He's punching and shit. So he's like, all the people are running up on him and they're trying to gang up on him, but Naruto's just punching them back, kicking them, and all throughout this entire time he's just screaming as he's mowing through them. And by the time he gets to the guy in the back that ordered Zabuza to kill Tazuna, he's just in shock and in horror that Naruto just sat here and mowed through about 100 people without a scratch on him. And when the guy asks, "Who are you?" Naruto just punches him, and when he falls out, he doesn't get back up. Naruto punched him so hard he broke his neck. Okay, calm down. So Naruto, after, you know, doing all of that, the smaller version of Naruto comes, like, the back of the Titan opens and Naruto's body just comes fumbling out, and Sakura hesitantly grabs Naruto after realizing this man just caught like 300 bodies. I mean, like 100 and probably 102 bodies. She's like, yeah, I'm gonna just go ahead and get you up because, you know, you're my teammate and everything, but we definitely got to figure out what that was. So after they finish escorting Tazuna renames the bridge to Naruto Bridge, and they started heading back to the Leaf Village. Naruto did not wake up until they were back inside of the Leaf Village. And when Naruto wakes up, he is greeted by a very, like, scarce looking group of people. Like, they were thinking that once Naruto woke up, he was going to transform right back into the Titan again, or the Thing. They're calling it a thing. Naruto hasn't given it a name yet. So, after Naruto wakes up, the scientists and people and the doctors are in the room talking to him about what was going on. And then, shortly thereafter, the door swung open and someone screams Naruto's name, and this is where I'm ending this part off. If you enjoyed the video, drop a like. If you enjoy my content, please subscribe. Anyway, this has been Shinobi. Peace.